Alright, welcome to the Franchise Time Machine. We are going to have SmileyFaceJane playing one of our historic games tonight. Ronnie Games All Day, good seeing you. Thank you for being here. So I'm getting the pack giveaway form ready to go. So I'll just put that in the stream here. Often helpful when people in chat spot a mistake I'm making in the form before I publish it. It's always hard to pull things back once they're out there, but this way y'all can catch me if I make a mistake. Alright, tonight's stream we're playing one of our historic St. Pete performances. Actually, SmileyFaceJane will be playing. She's chosen a team from the 1982 MLB season and will be replacing any 5 players with peak versions of themselves. It was a 162 game season. It is 1982. Everything else I think applies here. The modifiers will be from 1982. And then there were 26 teams in the major, so I have to change all the mouse over questions to 26 instead of 30. Alright, SmileyFaceJane is in the chat. Alright, I think everything else is good to go, so we can publish this. Actually, since SmileyFaceJane is in the chat, do you want to reveal now what team from 1982 will be taking over tonight? Oh, the Pirates. All right, let me update the form. That's gonna be fun. All right, tonight we'll be taking over the 1982 Pittsburgh Pirates. So this is what I always do, since a lot of these questions are based on how is this team gonna do tonight. I like to let people know what the 1982 Pirates did. All right, so the Pirates went 84 and 78. Not bad. But they were 4th. NL East. 8 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals, who would go on to sweep the Atlanta Braves. This is way before Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine. Sweep the Atlanta Braves 3-0 in the NLCS. And win the World Series 4-3 over the Milwaukee Brewers. Alright, this should be fun. Yeah, so this is a team where, you know, there were no wild cards. You had to win the division to make it into the league championship series. And fourth place, 8 games behind. Pretty tight division there. It was also similar on the West. The top 3 teams, the Braves, Dodgers, and Giants, were only separated by 2 games, and the Padres were fourth place, 8 games behind, just like the Pirates were fourth place, 8 games behind. Alright, so this should be fun. SmileyFaceJane does a great job of picking fun teams and fun players, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens tonight. She is also allowed to replace players from the reserve roster as well with peak versions of themselves if there are more interesting players over there. All right, so the first thing I have to do is set up the game. Oh wait, I didn't put this in the chat yet. Let me go ahead and put this in the chat. So people, if anyone wants to start guessing, you can. Link to form for tonight's 10-pack giveaway. Good luck, everybody. The only thing that takes a little bit longer on these historic games, if they're in a year we haven't set up the kind of create a roster run environment for it, the setup just takes a little bit of time. But it's not a lot of time, and now I'm pretty good at doing this pretty fast. So we're going to create a new game, new historical game. And this will be 1982, so this will be from the defensive era. We're not going to import the complete history, just keep the file size smaller. We're not going to import minor leagues for the same reason. We're not going to do expansion. We're going to keep all this the same. This will be, now this it doesn't matter because we're going to just save this as a quick start. So we can go ahead and set this up for SmileyFaceJane's game. So this will be peak performances, OOTP27, SmileyFaceJane, 1982 Pittsburgh Pirates. And this part I'm just going to set up for myself. We'll switch this over to SmileyFaceJane in a little bit. This is my default manager. And commissioner mode cannot be fired. We're not going to select a team because this is for the quick start. This is for the 1982 quick start. So I don't want to have it set up for any particular team yet. Okay. So the mailbox settings won't carry over, but this is for tonight. So I'm going to have this set. And the manager settings also will not carry over, but we'll go ahead and set this up. Okay, so now, got to go to game settings. Okay, global settings. We leave scouting off. We're going to turn off coaching. Basically, anything that might change the players over time, we're going to turn off. Storylines we're going to turn off because sometimes that'll cause players to get injured or retire. We're going to disable injuries, disable suspensions. And we're going to, this says disable player development. This is already checked, so the player development is turned off. That's fine. And FaceJaine, we don't change anything. Settings we leave the same. Almanac, we don't change. Database, we don't change. League settings. We don't change anything here. Under rules, we're going to go expansion from 25 players to 25 players. I don't want any players joining the rosters once the season starts. And since there are no injuries or suspensions, they shouldn't need additional players. We're going to disable trading. Disable automatic creation of free agents already checked. This is a good example, though. Some things you have to check to enable, some things you have to check to disable. So you have to really read through them. Even though I've done this a bunch of times, I still read through them every time just to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Financials I leave the same. When you're in commissioner mode, financials are kind of easy to play through, so we just leave that unchanged. MVP, I'm going to uncheck pitchers winning. That's just a personal preference because pitchers already have the Cy Young Award. I don't want to deal with Hall of Fame voting, so I'm going to uncheck that. All-Star game, I'm going to turn the importance of popularity in the All-Star vote to none. The default is high, which is probably accurate. This way, because when you import or create players, they start with 0 popularity. So this way, it's just performance-based, so our created or imported players have a chance to make the All-Star team. There is no wild card, so I don't have to make sure it's a 1 or 3 game wild card. And on players, we leave this the same. For historical, I don't want players retiring or missing seasons according to history. I don't want to automatically import historical rookies. And here, this is a big one. We are going to use the modifiers as is, but we're not going to recalculate them when we import new players. And that should be it. So now, hopefully I can just clip this as a highlight, and this will be how you set up a creator roster run environment. Oh yeah, this one does not have, thank you Nervanky, this one does not have force all teams to be represented. We want each team to have at least one representative. So we want all teams to be represented. Alright, so that is ready to go now. So we can save this as the quick start. First we'll save it, then we'll save this as a quick start. And this will be creator roster OOTP27 1982. Oh, no, wait, you know what I forgot to do? Under functions, we go to set all teams to not allow AI roster changes. So this way, they can't move players between the active and reserve roster. So they're just going to use the players they have on their active roster. Wappy Sploosh, thank you for the first time chat. Welcome in. I'm glad you're a big fan. You can go back to lurking if you want. You can chat if you want. Everyone's welcome. Okay, so now there won't be any AI shenanigans going on with the roster moves. So now we can save the quick start. Creator roster 27, 1982 run environment. 1982 MLB run environment. Creator roster settings. And AI, how is it phrased? Oh, I can't see it now. AI cannot make roster moves. Okay, so now anytime we play a 1982 historic game in OOTP27, we'll just open up this quick start. So now let's set this up for tonight's game, which will be for SmileyFaceJane. American, female. Okay, now we have to assign SmileyFaceJane to a team. which will be the Pirates. Available jobs. Pittsburgh Pirates. All right. SmileyFaceJane, do you want to do the regular chat, the Twitch chat, or do you want to be in the voice chat tonight? So mostly we do community games like this. All right, Twitch chat. We also do lots of experiments, especially early on in the cycle. I think the experiments in OOTP27 have probably been some of the best we've done, partly because I've had 2 cycles of streaming them to kind of get used to it. But also, I think we've discovered a lot of things about the game that have improved both our understanding of the game and also have gotten some, I think, bugs fixed in the game. So that's been really fun. And then we do some tribute, some theme sims. Like we'll have a Father's Day sim coming up, which is like the best father-son combos that can form a full roster. We usually do tribute sims when someone passes away or someone does something special. So we usually do like a Hall of Fame induction class sim. I'm gonna do a Bobby Cox sim coming up, but the last couple of Fridays have been booked up, Friday afternoons. But I'm still looking forward to doing a Bobby Cox tribute sim. So yeah, those are the 3 basic kinds of things we do here. All right, so SmileyFaceJane, do you want to say something to chat about why you chose this team in particular? I like the late 70s, early 80s seasons. It kind of feels like more, I don't know, like old school baseball still works. Like you can bunt and steal and stuff, and still scratch out some small ball games. More balls are in play. Defense feels like it matters more than current day. There's no DH in the NL, so you can do double switches and stuff, which is super fun. But like relief pitchers still matter. There are closers in this era. I think it's just like a lot of the best of kind of older eras and modern eras kind of converge in this time period. So I like the early 80s Sims. So let's see who's on this roster. SmileyFaceJane doesn't remember why she chose this team. We'll use the creator roster ratings views. Okay, this is an interesting rotation. You've got Rick Rhoden, Don Robinson, John Candelaria. I think Don Robinson is the one that won several Silver Sluggers, right? So he hit 333. And where are his? Let's look at real life stats. Real life batting. There we go. 333. Hit 290 in 1984. I don't think it's an unknown process. I think it's just a forgotten process. So there was probably a good process in place. Let me look between Rhoden and Robinson. I know there were some Gold Gloves and Silver Sluggers won. Let me see if I can find. I'm looking at BREF right now. And SmileyFaceJane, if you know off the top of your head, you can let me know too. But Don Robinson, I think, won some Silver Sluggers. Yeah, 3-time Silver Slugger for Don Robinson. And then I think, did Rhoden win some Gold Gloves then? No, Rhoden also 3-time Silver Slugger. Okay, that's what it was. Between the 2 of them, 6 Silver Slugger awards. That's awesome. That is great. This this team has 2 pitchers that won 6 Silver Slugger awards. The other player they might have, do they have? Yeah, they have Kent Tekulve. Kent Tekulve also was a good hitter. In Stratomatic, pitchers didn't have individual hitting cards, but they were given a hitting card number 1 through 8, and 8 was the best hitting card, and Kent Tekulve was an 8. As a relief pitcher, I guess he didn't win any Silver Sluggers, but let me look up his hitting stats. Here, I'll put his hitting stats up on the screen. Let me get BREF. Here's Kenty Colby's batting stats. What was the year he got an 8 card? It must have been this year when he had 250. He was an 8. Like I said, as a relief pitcher, he didn't get a lot of chances, but he was an 8 one of these years. It must have been this year. No, because I was there. That was way before I started playing. What year did he have an 8? None of these stats really support an 8. Huh. I'm a little disappointed. I thought for sure he would have hit like 200 or something to get that 8. But anyway, Don Robinson. I'll show you Don Robinson. Don Robinson. Yeah, 3-time Silver Slugger. Let's check out his batting stats. Alright, he won a Silver Slugger in 1982 when he had 282 with 2 bombs. Again in 89 when he hit 185 with 3 bombs. And then in 1990 he hit 143 with 2 bombs. But look at these years. He had 759, 749 OPSs. Better than some middle infielders. And then when he won it in 82, he had a 723 OPS. 16 RBI in 1982. Amazing. And then let's look up Rick Rhoden. Again, 3-time Silver Slugger. Go to his batting stats. All of his Silver Sluggers came later. They're the last. His last 3 years in Pittsburgh, 84, 85, 86. So he had 333 with a 750 OPS. A 180. Again, a lot of this was reputational back then, like the Gold Gloves. He only hit 189 in 85, but I'm sure some of that is some halo effect coming off of that 84 season. But then in 86, a legit 278 with a 709 OPS. So I would say 2 of these are legit. And he also could have won one in 80, right? He had 375 with a 915 OPS in 45 plate appearances. So, like, for a pitcher, not super small sample size. Also hit 308 in 1976 in 73 plate appearances, 718 OPS. So, you know, won the middle one of these reputationally, but there are other seasons where he could have rightfully won other Silver Sluggers too. So, you know, to be fair, 2 legit out of 3, but could have been others too. You know, if probably someone reputationally won it those other years. So, I think hopefully things like that evened out over time. But yeah, 2 great hitting pitchers here. So interesting pitching staff. Eddie Solomon can clearly be improved upon, I think, in the rotation. The bullpen's not bad, but there are definitely some stragglers here in the bullpen that could be upgraded. The bats. Let's take a look at the bats. Top batters, Jason Thompson. Bill Madlock here is 31 years old, so still close to his prime. Dave Parker here is 30 years old. Tony Pena Easler. 1.5 star Nelson Norman starting at second base. So second base might be a place to look for an improvement. So I don't know if there's someone in the reserve that could play second base. Oh, there's a Johnny Ray. There's a 25-year-old Johnny Ray on the reserve. Interesting. In 82, I don't know why he's on the reserve. He hit 281 in 100. He's played all 162 games. So even just bringing him over to the active roster would be a big help, without even bringing a peak version. All right, so SmileyFaceJane. Do you want to start with pitching or hitting? Who's the first player we're going to look at tonight? So the premise here is she can take any player, any 5 players from this roster or the reserve roster, and we're going to import whatever version that she feels is their peak version. All right, we're going to look at pitching, and I'm going to set up a notepad for this. I'll show you how we're going to import these players. All right, let me get a new notepad sheet out here. Okay, so let me show chat real quick what we're going to do. So to import players, you can do them one at a time, but it's a lot more efficient if you set up a file like this, where it's the player ID, comma, the version of them you want to import, which is a year, and then comma, and then a three or 4 letter abbreviation for the team where you want them to go. Normally, I set this up to go to Franchise Time Machine, FTM, because I don't ever know what team we're going to take over with a particular sim. But for tonight, it's definitely going to be Pittsburgh, so we're just going to put PIT for Pittsburgh. So I'm going to create a version like this that'll have 5 players for the 5 players that SmileyFaceJane is going to bring peak versions of. All right, so we're looking at the pitching staff. I'm guessing this is a pretty subpar season for Don Robinson. He has much better seasons. Roded too, potentially, but who do you want to go with, SmileyFaceJane? Robinson. Okay, very cool. So if you look in Editor, you can find their player ID. The other reason a lot of us use Baseball Reference is the Baseball Reference player ID is the same. See right here, it says Baseball Reference. If you go to Baseball Reference, in the URL, the player ID is in the URL. In fact, I still have Rick Rodens up here, so I can show you that. I'm going to adjust this a little bit so you can see the URL. Okay. So if you look at Rick Rodens' Baseball Reference profile, up in the URL, it says RHODERI01. Or here, I'll show you Don Robinson too, because we're doing Don Robinson right now. Okay, if you look at the URL, it's ROBINDO01. Look at the player ID, ROBINDO01. So it's the same. And so that's one of the reasons those of us who do OTP sims, one reason we use Baseball Reference over some of the other sites is because of the player ID is available. All right, so we're going to look at, here are the pitching stats. Oh no, real life stats. Lots of good ERA plus. Oh, thank you. There's a wildcard question in there. Can I delete a question? Well, no one's submitted yet, so I think I can delete a question. Will the team make the playoffs? You have to win the division to make the playoffs. So we'll take out the make the playoffs question. I think that could be confusing. So will it finish last season? Will it win the division? Will it make the World Series? Okay. So I've taken that question. Thank you, Nerd America. I appreciate that. Oh, I wonder if that means if you're in the middle of filling it out, you have to hit refresh. We'll have to see. Yeah, so lots of good ERA plus seasons here. If you're kind of new to OTP or new to um, looking at these stats, ERA plus is a measure of relative ERA. So 100 would mean your ERA was league average, and the higher the ERA plus is, that means the better you are relative to league average. So 160 is you're 60% better than league average. This is helpful because ERA tends to change a lot from year to year. And so this shows you how good a player's ERA was relative to that year. Especially when you hit like years like 1968 when ERAs go way down. All right, so SmileyFaceJane is going to bring in the 1978 version. Rookie year, Don Robinson had a 120. Oops, had a 120 ERA plus. Oh, sorry, I clicked out of there by mistake. All right, 1978. A 1.14 whip. That's walks in his per innings pitched. And a 120 ERA plus. Also, wow, his top WAR season was his rookie year. Way to come out of the gates strong. All right, so we'll take the 1978 Don Robinson and send him to Pittsburgh. All right, we're already beefing up the pitching staff. Yeah, 2.5 stars. There's definitely better seasons for Don Robinson. We're going to improve Don Robinson quite a bit, I'm sure. All right, who's next? I'm interested to see if SmileyFaceJane just brings Johnny Ray over or also upgrades Johnny Ray. Okay, Rick Rhoden, the 1-2 punch of Robinson and Rhoden. Let's get his player ID. All right, let's look at his real life stats. Again, another guy with consistently triple digit ERA pluses and a lot of them quite high. A 194, a 154, a 147, a 135, a 130. $1986. Yeah, 4.9. Oops. God, I did it again. I clicked out by mistake. All right, 1986. 4.9 WAR. A 147 ERA plus. A 1.13 WHIP. The only thing I wish OOTP would include a WHIP plus. WHIP plus would be as helpful as ERA plus. But I think, within this era, 113 is going to be outstanding. And frankly, that's a lot of what's going to determine how good someone sims is their whip. So, yeah. 1986, I like this. Rick Rhoden. I'll be surprised if these two don't leapfrog John Candelaria to the 1 and 2 spots of the rotation. All right, we staying with pitching, or are we moving to hitters yet? Who are the pitchers on the reserve, by the way? I didn't look at that. Okay, pretty small group of pitchers here in the reserve. All right, we're moving to the hitters. I mean, there are some hitters here who clearly have much better seasons Yeah, Dave Parker, a 3-star Dave Parker can definitely be upgraded. The other one I noticed too is there's a 2-star Willie Stargell on this team. There's a 42-year-old Willie Stargell on this team. But yeah, Dave Parker. This is a 30-year-old Dave Parker. Let's get his player ID. Yeah, this is really coming together as a fun group here. All right, here his now OPS plus is broken in the base game for some reason. I did it again. Sorry, I keep clicking by mistake. All right. Because he has a really productive period in the late 70s and another productive period here in the mid 80s. 1978. 30 home runs, 117 RBI, 334 average, man. 979 OPS. It's also his peak WAR season. I'm also looking forward to seeing what his defense looks like because I never got to see it, but like reputationally at his peak, he had a cannon of an arm and played right field very well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what his defense looks like in 1978. Yeah, really fun player to bring in. 1978 Dave Parker. All right. 2 more left. It is Stargell. Nice. I almost missed him because he's not in green. But as soon as I saw that it's a 2-star Willie Stargell. All right, let's get his player ID. This is super fun. Just a string of really good 900, even a couple thousand plus OPS seasons. And you have to remember, in this era too, like these are all 20 plus home run seasons. You got a couple 40 plus seasons. These were not high home run eras, so he's really crushing it. This is his very last season too, 1982. So bringing the peak Stargell to 82 seems really fun. I mean, I'm guessing it's one of the 40 bomb seasons, 71 or 73, but all right, 73. 299 average, 44 home runs. Also, let's not sleep on the 43 doubles. A 1038 career high OPS and 7 WAR. Also, getting 7 WAR at first base, that's a heck of a season. 1973. All right. Peak Parker and Peak Stargell on the same team here is going to be a lot of fun. All right. A few different ways you can go here. I'm looking forward to seeing who the 5th player is going to be. As with Denny, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Okay, we'll check the result. Let me get the Raiders welcomed in first. Thank you for giving Ezra a shout out. Tonight we are playing Peak Performances with SmileyFaceJane. This is where you pick any historic team. She's taking the 1982 Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. And you get to take any 5 players, including players on the reserve roster, and replace them with peak versions of themselves. So far, I'll show you the roster file we're building for her. She is replacing Don Robinson with a 1978 version. Going ahead in time for Rick Rhoden for a 1986 version. Peak 1978 Dave Parker and a peak 1970 Willie Stargell. Willie Stargell is in his last season in 1982. So replacing him with a 1973 Willie Stargell. And we're about to go to the reserve roster for the last hitter. This team, also 1982 Pirates. Don Robinson wins 3 Silver Sluggers in his career, and Rick Rhoden wins 3 Silver Sluggers in his career. So between the two, 6 Silver Sluggers in the pitching staff. Oh, I didn't realize Willie Stargell's from Alameda. That's awesome. Well, we're going to have a peak version of him here. Brian Harper. He is a 22-year-old at this point. Let's go ahead and get his player ID. And let's look at his real life stats. So 82. He doesn't even, he's another cup of coffee in 82. It's not till 83 where he gets a full season of work in. But yeah, he has some really nice hitting seasons here. Hitting around 300 for most of his full-time seasons. You remember now that you put this team off for a long time because the hitters are awkward. A lot of good peaks for guys who play the same position with no. Oh yeah, no DH hurts this team for sure. Yeah. (1989) Brian Harper hits .325 with an .802 WAR. 2.2 WAR. Okay, so let's get 1982. Or, 1989. And in 1989, he's converted to a catcher. That's how I mostly know Brian Harper as a catcher. And so by 1989, he's playing 101 games at catcher. So that's a real good pull there to find a left fielder who can play catcher on this squad. Yeah, exactly. I think it was the Twins catcher. Okay, so here's the roster file we're going to use to import these players. I'm really excited to see Dave Parker and Stargell play together and to watch Peak, Robinson, and Rhoden pitch together. This is going to be fun. Yeah, the pillbox hats are pretty sweet. All right, so here's what we're gonna do to import. Oh, I need to save this file that we created. So this will be Peak Performances 27. SmileyFaceJane. Wait, what's the format I use? The year, then the team. Okay. 27. SmileyFaceJane. 1982 Pittsburgh. Okay, so now we can go to manager pull down menu, GM and manager actions, sign a free agent. We don't have to worry with the free agency pool because we're going to use this file that's going to send these players right to the Pirates roster. So we're going to import historical players from this actions pull down menu from the historical database. And you can enter players one at a time here, but what the other thing you note is you can't specify a destination, and you have to import one time for every player, which takes a lot of time. We're just going to upload the file here, the file that we just created. So this is Peak Performances 27, SmileyFaceJane, 1982 Pittsburgh Pirates. This is a thing we got last year from OOTP Developments when we realized that what we were getting was a 3-year average profile. So if you ask for this is how we figured it out. Like I was trying to bring in the 1996 Brady Anderson for a sim, and he did not come with 80 power like you expect from a 50 home run hitter. He had 50 power. So I reported that as a bug, and they said, "Oh no, that's because it's a 3-year average." And I was like, "What? Excuse me?" So it turns out all this time when I've been playing the base game, I've been importing players from across time. I was getting a 3-year average. And so, but usually I bring in players like Willie Mays and Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle, where if you take a 3-year average, probably still going to be really good. So I asked, can we get a 1-year import? And they gave us a 1-year option here. So now it's 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years. So really creative OTP developers to be so responsive to requests from players. Base potential based on peak seasons. Okay, so SmileyFaceJane, I'm going to let you choose. Do you want the fielding ratings based on imported season, 3-year period, or entire career? This is probably the stickiest subject here because we get different things depending on which version we use. Pitcher stamina will be based on the imported season. And I'm going to take... this shouldn't be a problem tonight, but I usually take these way down just in case. This is the threshold at which batters and pitchers get nerfed because their sample size is small. We'll just do career. Okay. This way we should get more coverage of positions. We might get slightly lower ratings than maybe like their peak season. But again, there's no guarantee that we're picking a peak defensive season. So I think career is probably a good move here. All right, now our first quality check will be it should say that we're imported 5 players. We should get a little pop up here. Okay, 5 players. Now we go over to the roster and make sure those 5 players look like what we're kind of expecting. So Brian Harper, 4.5 star. Dave Parker, 4.5 star. Stargell, 4.5 star. Rodin, 3.5. Don Robinson, 3.5. Man, those Parker and Stargell seasons we reported are so good, and those are 4.5 star seasons. That just goes to show you how good a 5-star season is. All right, let's clean up the roster a bit. So we brought in a new Parker and a new Stargell. So we'll take the old Parker and the old Stargell, and we'll move them to the reserve. We also have the new Rodin, and take out the old Rodin. And we've got the new Don Robinson, so we'll take out the original Don Robinson. There he is. And the other Brian Harper is already on the reserve, but now we need to make room for Brian Harper. So who do you want to send down? Let's go to the bat review. Presumably one of the catchers. I'm guessing Steve Nicosia. Yeah, send Nicosia to the reserve. There's also some pitchers you want to send to the reserve. Okay, fire away. Who do you want to send to the reserve? Or let me do this. Let's have the AI do a staff. That might make it easier to find spot the bad pitchers. Maybe the ones that are in long relief avoid high leverage. Griffin, oh, there you go. Griffin and Moscow. I'm a little surprised you're not going to dump Nelson Norman for a young Johnny Ray, but okay, so you got 2 roster spots now. You've got all your new players are in there, and you've got 2 rosters. Oh, that too? Okay. So we're going to take Nelson Norman out and move Johnny Ray up. I mean, that's a huge upgrade. Johnny Ray already has a really nice profile. All right, so you have room for 2 pitchers. Neiman and Scurry. Isn't this Mets legend Randy Neiman? There he is, 85-86. Mets legend. All right, so Neiman and Scurry. Okay, we're back up to 25 players. Any other roster moves before we start looking at pitching roles and batting lineups? Okay, look at this. A very young Rafael Belliard, too. 20-year-old Belliard. Already a 55 at shortstop. Pretty good defensive ratings already. He'll go on to be a really good defensive shortstop. The batting's not going to show it, but actually, we could probably look at real life fielding stats. Oh, he's not going to have zone ratings or anything, though. Okay. Okay, so pitching or hitting first? Pitching. Okay. Here's what the computer wants to do. Candelaria, Robinson, Rodin, Sarmiento, and Solomon. Tekulve closing, Guante setup, and then Ross, Baumgarten in long relief. Set Scurry to normal usage. Yep. No secondary role for Scurry or Neiman. Okay. Okay. Man, Guante was a stud, huh? Look at all this blue. 1.22 whip. Yeah, 1.16 whip, 1.14 whip, 1.08 whip. So some pretty good seasons in there. Lots of strikeouts from the Achilles heel, I think, is the control, but this season in particular still had good control rating. Okay, so we'll go to the batting next. See what the recommendation is. So most of the season will be the no DH version. The DH version will be important for the postseason. Wait, why isn't Parker starting versus righties? Or versus lefties? What? What is going on here? Why is the computer not starting Parker versus with no DH? That's insane. Can you check? Yeah, position rate, no problem. Man, the computer loves Lee Lacy, I guess. Parker over Lacy and no DH slams. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. Yeah, great idea bringing in Brian Harper to play catcher. I mean, Tony Pena was a good catcher, but he's still a little young at this point. The defense is pretty good, but look at this Harper bat is crazy. Yeah, you're getting a yeah because Lacey's already a 4.5 star, right? So you're losing him. Do you want him leading off, or are you gonna? Okay. What? Oh shoot. Oh, okay. We have to do it individually to do that, and then that also gives us a chance to do all the if starter tired for all these two. So it's moving Parker to the 3 spot, which makes more sense. Starge will clean up Harper 5th. Johnny Ray hitting 7th, surprisingly. And then let's ask for the depth chart. And we'll click all these to if starter tired. Okay, do the same here. We'll ask for a lineup. Similar Parker, Stargell, Harper's bumped to 6. Okay, then we'll do DH. Okay, nothing changed there. And then a VL with DH. Okay, I think we're good. On the pitching staff, what rotation mode did you want? Okay, always start highest rested. Then let's go to strategies. Now here we can do whatever you want. I find it's easier to just start with one of the presets and then we'll make adjustments to it. I think did we do a SmileyFaceJane one for? Yeah, do you want the SmileyFaceJane mod? Yeah, I have the moderate sabermetric SmileyFaceJane one. Okay, so this is from a previous one that we saved. Because the setup takes a lot less time than create a roster, I give the players who do these historic games a little more latitude on tweaking lineups, tweaking pitching staffs, and adjusting their strategy. Plus, it's not competitive. There's no leaderboard, so it's not like anyone gets an edge from doing it. We'll bring pitcher on intentional walk all the way. Okay. Take those all the way down this time. Okay. All right. That is done. Let's go ahead and save this before we lose it. All right. Any other changes, SmileyFaceJane? Pitching staff, lineups, strategy. That's everything. All right. Can't bench Thompson. Senor says in my 82 Pirates season, he had a 3 home run game. Last being inside the park, that's awesome. Yeah, any inside the park home run is amazing to watch in real time. All right, so let's save this, and we'll save this as a quick start as well. This is peak performances in 27. SmileyFaceJane, 1982, Pittsburgh. Okay, should be a fun one. All these historical SmileyFaceJane sims are bangers. Also, SmileyFaceJane innovated my own game by introducing the use of the reserve roster for bringing in peak players. For some reason, I never thought to do that, and as soon as she did it, it was so much more fun. Thank you for Scritches for Crouton. Crouton, your shameless plugging yourself for Scritches has paid off. As you guys see Grizzly to give you Scritches with your collar shake there. Don't think we don't see right through you, buddy. We are savvy human beings. We know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. Alright. Scritches have been delivered. Alright, I'm really looking forward to this. The Stargirl and Parker together in particular should be a lot of fun. Oh, you know what? I may not have given the earlier one when we're getting started. Let me, I don't think I did. Yeah, so let's give him double. Thank you for the reminder, Z Grizzly. Double for you because I forgot the earlier Z Grizzly one. There you go, buddy. There you go. Yeah. Alright. It started warming up. Oh, that's right. It was because of the raid. Thank you, Z Grizzly. That's right. I was trying to remember why I didn't do it because I'm usually on the ball, unless he's out of the room temporarily. Sometimes he goes get a drink of water or something. But yeah, it was the raid. Alright, so here's what we'll do. We usually take a ad break here so people can fill out the form now that the roster's been built. And make sure that we can go through the sim without being interrupted by ads. But ads just fires. I don't know if it'll let us go right away, but I will try. If it doesn't let me do it, then I'll do something else real quick, and then we can jump back into it. Did I give him your scriptures from 10 minutes from now? I do have a time machine, but I don't go forward for scriptures yet. Alright, let's see if it'll let me do 3-minute ad break. Yes, it will. Alright, see you all in a few minutes. think we might be back from the ad break. So I was thinking the next time, it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while, someone will forget that they were going to do a community game or something, and I have to figure out something to do on the fly. I think what I might do when that happens next is a complete vibes-based creator roster run, where all I show myself are the player names. So I get 5 players, but all I see are their names, and I just pick them based on their names. I think that would be kind of fun. Or maybe I just show the nicknames. Although at the lower levels, that won't work. But at the higher levels, um, I'll use the roster form of whoever's in first place at the time, and then I'll pick the players based on vibes based player selection. So I'll show myself 2 fields. Well, I guess 3. The first name, last name, and the nickname. And so at the lower level, there's no nickname. It'll just be based on their first and last name. But if there's a nickname, I can factor that in too. I think that'll be cool. And what I'll do is, like, once I lock in the choice, I'll put on the screen what their actual attributes are, but the choice will already be locked in. So we'll get to see like what I missed out on too. So it'll be like one notch above the random wheel spin, but I think it'll be fun. All right, is anyone else working on the pack giveaway forum that wants to participate? Because I will leave it open for anyone who's still working on it. I just want to make sure if no one else is working on it, that we'll go ahead and close it up and get ready to go. Everyone will have a few more seconds here. I'm going to set up the spreadsheet view and everything, but I did want to get it out there that we're going to be looking to close this down pretty soon. I'm really looking forward to this. As usual, SmileyFaceJane bringing it. Really fun historical sim selections from SmileyFaceJane all the time. And thank you for redeeming the channel points to play. Always appreciated. We just got Reb Jr. scheduled for another community game as well. I think it's lowball. I don't know if he wrote back yet. I think it's lowball that he wanted to do, but we haven't signed up now for the 31st. If people are on mobile devices, you usually can't hear the stream. Oh, okay. So let me put that in the chat then. Thank you for letting me know that. I did not realize that, Nerd of Anarchy. Usually, if I'm watching a streamer on my phone, I'm just watching and listening. So. Oh yeah. Yeah. Remind me in Discord, and I will send you the available dates, Nerd of Anarchy. All right. If I don't hear anything soon, I'm going to go ahead and close it up. And again, with these historic sims, we could be starting at any kind of record. So it does include the low ball questions, like we'll have the worst record in the majors, but this team, I don't think there's anywhere. It was already a over 500 team, and we've added quite a bit of talent. So, all right, I'm going to close the forum so we can check out these guesses. Good luck, everybody. We have 4 contestants tonight. All right, I think correctly, no one thinks this team is going to be worse than the NL or the in the majors or the NL. or in the NL East. Uh, okay, three quarters you think they will win the division then before make it to the playoffs. The same three quarters think they'll make it to the World Series. I hope it's the same three quarters, I should say. And then one of you thinks they will win the World Series. I don't know. I feel like this team is built to win a World Series. I like this lineup. And when you go to the four-man rotation for the playoffs, you're going to lose that bad fifth starter. And I think it's going to be a stud rotation. Only one thinks there'll be a Cy Young award, but three quarters think there'll be an MVP. I mean, yeah, there are some really good bats in this lineup now, so I'm with you on the MVP. All right, let's go take a look at the preseason predictions now. As usual, we'll sim to opening day. And what that'll do is that'll give us the MLB preseason predictions up here. So MLB reports and info preseason predictions. AL, pretty normal. 94 wins for the Orioles, 92 each for the Tigers and Brewers, 97 for the Royals, 92 for the Angels. Runs are in the 7 to 900s. ERAs in the 4s and 5s. We'll take a look at the National League now. 98 wins for the Pirates. Best in the National League. 94 for the Expos, 95 for the Dodgers, 91 for the Padres. Top run production at 8.11. ERA is kind of like, it looks like in maybe the top quartile. You got Montreal, Padres, and Dodgers are all better. Astros too. So we're kind of top halfish. And then let's look at the top hitters and pitchers. So it's got Dave Parker as the number 2, 35 home runs, 334 average. It's got Madlock, who was unchanged, as the number 6, hitting 345 with 22 home runs. Unchanged Thompson, 287 with 34 home runs. Peak Stargell, 285 with 39 home runs. So it does like the batters. And on the pitching staff, the upgraded Rodin as the 6th best pitcher in the league. The upgraded Don Robinson, nowhere to be seen, and the original Candelaria is in there too as the number 7. All right, well, this will be fun. Let me screenshot this too. All right, let's go to opening day. We are not playing till tomorrow when we face Montreal. Steve Rogers against John Candelaria. Should we just go to game 2 where we get one of our peak pitchers? Nah, let's watch Parker and Stargell play together. All right, we've got top of the first, 2 outs and a runner on third for Gary Carter. Ooh, don't like Gary Carter facing a lefty here. Fly ball to right field. That is in the corner for extra bases. Run scores. So we're down 1 quickly. Top of the 4th, Montreal threatened again. Runners on second and third for Andre Dawson. Another lefty-righty matchup that's not in our favor. 2 outs and a 1-0 count to the Hawk. Line drive in the left center field. Center fielder is under it though and puts him away for the inning. Nice play. Where are we gonna get a highlight? First and third with 1 out. Chi cut to Tim Wallach. Ground ball to second, Johnny Ray. Oh, throwing home. Got him at home. The infield was not in. He gunned him out from a regular second base position. Wow. What a play. What a play by Johnny Ray. Brought up from the reserve squad. Chris Spire. Again, another Montreal highlight. We have not had a single offensive highlight yet. Full count. Rips one to left field. That is going to have the distance, and it's gone. Shutout. Oh, they're already up 1-0. Now they're up 2-0. Doubles the lead. Finally, Pittsburgh gets high. Bottom of the 6th. Run around first for Jason Thompson. 1 out and a 1-0 count. Lines it to left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Runner was rounding second. Into third safely. First and third with 1 out. 1-2 count. Ooh, to Dave Parker. Lefty-righty matchup is in our favor this time. Cobra lines one up the middle for a base hit. It's going to cut the lead in half. 2-1. Runner is going to third. The cutoff. Oh, they're going to get him at third, aren't they? All right, it's 2-1. Runner on second. 2 out and a full count to Stargell. Gets him swinging. Bottom of the 7th, another Pittsburgh highlight. There we go. Yeah, I know, nerve because I would have said it's the opening day roster, but if he played all 162 games, he would have been on the opening day roster. So I don't know why he was on the reserve. I agree with you. Madlock. Line drive to left field. That's going to be into the corner. Should be extra bases. Going to be a 1-out double to get things started. Brings up Johnny Ray. We're just talking about him. Here's Johnny Ray. Big time contact hitter. Fly ball to left. Make it 2 outs. Runner still on second. 2-1 count to Dale Berra. Ooh, Dale Berra rips one down the right field line. Unexpected. It's going to be extra bases and an RBI. It's a triple. All right, Candelaria now up with a runner on third. Ground ball to first. Scooped by the first baseman, unassisted for the out. But scores tied up and will be at the top of the order next inning. All right, first Montreal is up though. Oh, Steve Rogers got on first base. Don't love that. Brings up Dawson. Fly ball to left. Oh, the left fielder nonchalanted it. I hate that animation. Because when does this happen? We'll watch it again. Watch the left fielder. Just nonchalant. Under it. I'm under it. I'm under it. Oh, it's over my head. That's such a frustrating animation. I mean, I get the outcome's already determined. The animation is just put on top of it, but still. It is an infuriating animation. All right. They've pulled ahead again. 3-2. And they have a runner on second for Tim Raines. 2 outs. 2-2 count. Fly ball to right center field. That's going to be trouble. Going to score another run. It is now 4-2. So they were up 2. We clawed back. Now they're up 2 again. Like it never happened. All right, Dave Parker up. 2 outs and an 0-2 count. Line drive up the middle again. Nice. Brings up Stargell. Fly ball to right center field and drops in front of the center fielder. He was tracking it, but it drops in. It's going to be first and third, still with 2 outs. All this activity with 2 outs. 1-2 count to Brian Harper. Huge contact bat. Pops him up. Pops him up. I jinxed it by talking about what a good contact bat he had. Still down by 2. Bottom of the 9th. Bill Madlock leading things off. Bottom of the order here. Oh, that's... Is it a flyout or is it gone? No, it's a flyout. It looked like it was gone off the bat, but I'm still getting used to these new fly ball animations. All right, 2 outs. Mike Easler up with a 1-2 count. Can't hit a 2-run home run with no one on base. Blooper to right field, into the corner. All right, well, that's a good start. Easler headed to second. All right, stand-up double for Easler. That brings up Lee Lacy. Now, this is one of the benefits of having Parker and peak Parker, peak Stargell, is now Lee Lacy's a dangerous bat off the bench. Easler was also pinch hitting. And Lacy delivers, single up the middle. So now it's a 4-3. No. Oh, they held him. It's first and third for Omar Moreno. Ugh. If we can get past Moreno, Thompson's on deck. Full count. Oh, it's going to get through. It gets through the infield. And the runner's going to third. Holy cow. First and third. 4-3 game. And Jason Thompson does get a chance to bat here. Big power eye bat. O2 count. Don't love the O2 count. Oh, he drives it, but it is... Oh, is he nonchalanting it? No. Ah! I thought we might get the nonchalanting animation, but... That was a close one. That was a close one. Yeah, I think that's going to be an underrated aspect of this these changes, is Lee Lacy, huge bat coming off the bench. That was a cool game, though. All right. First month. Now struggling a little bit. Bottom half of the division. Remember, this is a team that finished plus 500, and we've significantly upgraded several positions and 2 pitching spots. 7-game RBI streak by Stargell, 9-game run streak by Stargell. But we're stuck at 7 and 13. It is early, though. Still very early. Stargell leading the league in RBI already. And Rodin tied for the league lead in wins. All right, there you go. We're in the top half of the division now. Stargell's Player of the Week, and a 4-game home run streak by Stargell. Nice. All right, we got to see what this Player of the Week looked like then, because that's... All right, Stargell gets Player of the Week. He had 450 with 4 home runs for the week. 4 home runs and 20 at-bats. He had 9 hits, almost half of them were home runs. Amazing. He's hitting 331 with 17 home runs now. At the time of the Player of the Week, he was hitting 339, but 331 with 17 bombs. Let's take that name out of here so we get the regular news. Okay, and read all messages. All right. '23 and 24, one game under 500. It's gonna be tough catching the Expos here. We may not make the postseason. That's a tall order. We're already 10 games behind. Stargell leading the league in home runs and RBI. What's he batting? How do I change this delay? So, he's hitting 331. He is close to Triple Crown position. Can I change the? Okay, now it should pop up right away. There we go. All right, well, let's do another month. See if we can catch those Expos. All right, we're in second now. 24-game hitting streak by Harper comes to an end. Nice. The owner shifting focus to win now. All right, we still have to finish the month of June. Bouncing between second and third place with the Cubs. We need the Expos to get a little cold so we can reel them in a little bit. We get pitcher and batter of the month this month, so let's check those out. Thompson and the Candyman. Let's see. Read all messages. Take this up here. All right, Thompson. He had 367 with 10 home runs for the month. And look at this on the season. He's hitting 344 with 21 bombs. Candelaria went 5-0 in 6 starts, 43 strikeouts in 49 third innings, 182 ERA during that period. On the season, he's 8-4 with a 3.81 ERA. So he was struggling before that month. Big month though. Put him into 8-4 record at this point. Who was the rookie of the month? Frank DePino from Houston. Okay, let's go back to the status view. Let's zoom to the All-Star break. We're now just 4.5 games behind the Expos. They have cooled down quite a bit. Their win percentage now down to 645, and we have ours up to 587. Stargell still crushing it, leading the league in home runs and RBI. And he's hitting 344. He is just off the leaderboard here. So Stargell in Triple Crown contention. No one on the pitching staff on the leaderboard. How are the pitchers doing then? Rodon 10-3 with a 3 ERA. Robinson 7-5 with a 4. So Robinson's struggling a little bit, but Rodon really bringing it. On the batting side, wow, 4 guys with 1,000 OPS. One, though, is a small sample size, Mike Easler. But Stargell 11-10. Lee Lacy also relatively small, coming off the bench, 1074. And then Jason Thompson, original member of this team, 1070. Harper's at an 878. And Parker, 821. Parker's... so where's the problem with Parker? He's got 13 bombs. He's hitting 297. But his OPS is only 821. I guess the slugging's a little low. Yeah, the isolated power is only 188. All right. Moreno leading off. Yeah, his on-base percentage isn't great. Do you want to change it? It's not create a roster. You can change it. Do you want to take Moreno out of that leadoff spot? I don't know that you have a ton better options, though. Does Lacy play center field? I mean, Lacy plays a 50 center field. sim to the All-Star break. Two and a half games behind now. Narrowing that gap. Thompson now appearing on the batting leaderboard. Stargell hitting 331. Candelaria tied, third and shut us with 2. All right, let's send one more day to the All-Star break. Oh, wait, did we already do that? No, we have one more day. Okay. So let's take a look at the All-Star voting. Brian Harper, second in voting at catcher. He was a peak performances player, almost 1.4 million votes. Jason Thompson, original member of the team, 1.6 million votes first at first base. Stargell in left field, 1.8 million votes in first place. So Dave Parker, what's going on with Dave Parker? He does have the fire now. He has 17 home runs, 5 triples, 316 average. So he is starting to bring it, but not in enough time to get in the All-Star voting here. Okay, we know the computer's not great at voting for pitchers, imported pitchers. So let's see. Candelaria might have a shot here, 10-4 with a 3.38. Rodin, 11-5 with a 3. So those guys have, I think Rodin slipped a little bit. Candelaria's picked it up a little bit. Yeah, Tekulve's got a 4.30 ERA. Guante's got a 1.74. I mean, do you want to switch Guante into Tekulve? That might be something to consider. Oh, wait, I forgot to look at who was selected for the All-Star. We got Stargell in the home run contest here. So it's, 4 body part player. the captain of our all body part team. The 4 body part toe, knee, arm, ass. will be facing Stargell. And it's Reggie Jackson and Dave Winfield, 2 of the top right fielders from the era. Stargell and Reggie Jackson. That I would pay money to watch that home run contest. Stargell versus Reggie Jackson. You didn't put much thought into some of the original rosters because your sim was in January and OOTP27 and long deleted. Yeah, Pops wins it. Look at that, 17-7. Just destroys Reggie Jackson. Nice. All right, let's. So I forgot to go back and see who was actually selected to the All-Star team, because that's one of that we'll need that for the pack giveaway. Wow, it didn't take any of the pitchers? All right, it did take Brian Harper. Thompson led in voting. Stargell led in voting. I mean, this team's getting robbed at the All-Star ballot here. 3 players make the team. I disagree with that, but, well, you know. I think we got hosed on the pitching. Harper, Thompson, Stargell. Yeah, it's just those 3. Wow. Brian Harper, also MVP. Nicely done, SmileyFaceJane. Bringing in the left, replacing the current left field Harper with a peak catcher Harper. An inspired choice wins All-Star Game MVP. Look, he might have hit a grand slam. Let's take a look. He hit in the 8th to win the game. Holy cow. They were down 6-5 and he hit a grand slam. They were down 6-2. They scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th to make it 6-5. They go into the bottom of the 8th down 1 still. It's not a walk-off, but he hits the game-winning grand slam in the bottom of the 8th. Wow. Stargell went 1 for 2 with a run scored, so he did all right. Thompson went 0 for 4 with a strikeout, stranding 3 runners. And Harper went 1 for 2 with a run scored and 4 RBI on a game-winning grand slam. Home runs. Brian Harper won 8th inning off Raleigh Fingers, 3 on, 1 out. Awesome. Player of the game, Brian Harper. Gotta like that. Screenshot that. Should screenshot this too. That's nice. Yeah, win probability graph. That's awesome. It really was blown in the 7th, though. Those 3 runs really set everything up. So who was pitching in the 7th? Oh, Mets legend Craig Swan. Oh, no, that's our team. Tobic. Dave Tobic gave up the 3 runs to set it up, and then Raleigh Fingers gave up the grand slam. Oh, one of them was unearned, so who made the error? So how did that inning play out then? Oh, okay, so the inning would have been over, so that's why. So the runner who got on the error probably was the one unearned run. Okay. Let's finish the rest of the month. Ooh, half a game. 1.5 games. Rookie of the month, Don Robinson. We'll take a look at that. 1.5 games out. We are right in this. Stargell leading in home runs and RBI. He's hitting 321. So I don't think he'll... Look at Gary Carter hitting 367. And Eddie Murray hitting 384. Jeez. Batting averages are up all over the place this save. All right, let's run the month of August. So close. Can't get it below half a game, though. Oh, there we go. Oh, we were in first place for a moment. Now we're 4 games back. No. How quickly things swing. It's always funny to SmileyFaceJane when the first sim of the season against the one of the only better teams. Yeah. 13-game shutdown streak to Colby comes to an end. We're now 4 games behind. We're in first place for 1 day, it looked like. Oh, man. All right, Stargell still leading in home runs. Jason Thompson now tied for second. Stargell leading in RBI. Thompson now third in batting average. Al Oliver now hitting 361. Eddie Murray hitting 370. Eddie Murray's in Triple Crown position, hitting 370, 44 bombs, and 128 RBI. He's only 4 RBI behind Winfield for the Triple Crown right now. Also, Dickie Thon stealing 42 bases, a little bit of a surprise. All right, let's go week by week because we're in a pennant race here. We're going in the wrong direction. We're 6 games behind now. Got to catch fire. Five and a half games behind. Oh, we're going the wrong direction, people. 32 game on base streak by Thompson. Hitting 347. Thompson now has passed Stargell for home runs, but Stargell's still dominating in RBI. Let's do another week. Oh no, we're going to double digits now. 9 games behind with a week left to go. We're not going to be able to do it. They've already clinched. Oh, bummer. It was looking so good for a while. The crazy thing is, this team in real life went 84-78. So we're 4 games better already, but we're not going to finish that much better. And we brought a ton of talent in. But it might be the problem SmileyFaceJane highlighted, which is the players whose peaks are able to bring in. There's like a log jam in those positions, so it's just hard to get all the bats in there. All right, we'll see to the end of the regular season, but we have been eliminated from the playoffs. All right, we finish. Well, we have one more game to play. We do have a home run champion in Stargell and an RBI champion. 44 home runs, 154 RBI. 8 games behind, 92-70. So finishing 8 wins better. But, I mean, there's more than 8 wins worth of talent added to this team. I think there's some bad RNG that happened here, too. Let's look at the month by month. I bet there's like a really cold month we had. Oh my god, a 370 September. That's awful. And a 350 April. We just had bookend terrible months. Even if we had just played 500 ball during those months, we'd have picked up 3 more wins in April and 3 or 4 more wins in September. That almost makes up the shortfall. We were just so bad in April and September. Look at this. First in the NL in all these stats. Just couldn't bring it together at the right moments. 750 ball in June, 704 in July. Bookended by 500 win percentage, then bookended by 300 win percentage. So, just a crazy all over the place season here for this Pirates team. But Jason Thompson and Stargell both finished with a 1,000 plus OPS. Parker started picking up towards the end of the season, finishes just under 900 OPS with 33 bombs and a 321 on average. If you didn't know how cold he started, this looks like a great stat line. 33 home runs, 321 average, 899 OPS, 5.3 WAR. Harper came in, hit 316, 19 home runs, 810 OPS, and hit the big grand slam in the All-Star game. I don't know. I would kind of want to try run this back with Lee Lacy in center. Forget Moreno. Right, an outfield of Stargell, Lacy, and Parker. That'd be pretty sick. And the defense isn't that much worse. Moreno's a 55 in center, and Lacy's a 50 in center. So, I wouldn't mind that. Alright, let's go finish out the season. It's the Royals and the Tigers and the Dodgers and the Expos. Tigers win 3-1, Expos win 3-2. So it's the Tigers and the Expos. Oh, the Tigers win the World Series a couple years early. All right, let's do the postseason awards. All right, Great Glove Awards. I just love achievements on, so we did not win any Great Glove Awards. Cardinals cleaning up. Hernandez, Ozzie Smith, and Lonnie Smith getting them 3 Gold Gloves. So no Gold Gloves. Reliever of the year. I think Guante. The AI does like voting for setup men in OOTP27, so Guante maybe. But Jacoby is a closer, not great. 34 saves, 386. I mean, not bad either, but not great. Yeah, no votes. No Relievers of the Year votes for our team. All right, next up, Platinum Stick Awards. We should be in for a few here. Yeah, exactly a few, if a few means 3. So Rick Roden. I did mention at the beginning of the stream, Roden and Robinson each had 3 Silver Slug Awards in their careers. So Rick Roden comes through with a 284 average. Jason Thompson, who is unchanged, original Jason Thompson at first base, and peak Willie Stargell, 317 average, 44 home runs, 154 RBI, huge season. So 3 Silver Slugger Awards. All right, Rookie of the Year. It turns out Don Robinson was eligible, so we'll see if he gets one. Oh, Brian Harper gets it. Don Robinson came in 3rd, but Harper gets 16 of the first place votes. Dravecki gets the other 10. What's confusing? He at least had enough of a season the year before that he shouldn't have been a rookie. That's a good point. Yeah, it looks like he would have lost. He would have been rookie eligible in '83. Yeah, so he did have also enough of a season in '88. He should have been too. So that's weird that he's rookie eligible here. That's really weird. It's a good thing we don't have a question about rookie of the year because this would have been controversial. And actually, it should say in his profile when he lost his rookie eligibility. Or no, it says that in BREF, I guess. I don't know that it says that in here. This says he only has 1 year and 6 days of Major League service, though. Look at this. It's like, yeah, it's like those other seasons didn't happen. Yeah, it's 1982, but we imported his um 89 version. Yeah, that's weird because it shouldn't be the case. I wonder if it happens to be that you have a version of yourself in that season that's a rookie. It doesn't like it somehow doesn't yeah, like if you're designated rookie, maybe that flag doesn't get canceled. Because none of our veteran players were brought in were considered rookies, except for Don Robbins, who actually was a rookie. We actually imported his rookie year. But I think Collar might be right. if it's already a rookie season, it looks like it's not losing that tag. That's a bit of a bug. I might report that. It's going to be hard to explain this bug, though. Yeah, that there's something about that rookie flag is not getting removed when we bring in a more experienced version of the same player. So yeah, good call there. Someone was asking about Stargill's WAR. He has a 3.9 WAR. So the season's great, but he plays first base or left field. So I think because of that, and his fielding might not have been good either. He might have lost some WAR points for his fielding. Yeah, his negative 23.1 zone rating might have cost him some WAR points there. Um, and he didn't get the boost you get from playing shortstop or center field or second base. So that's pretty bad zone rating. In fact, I don't know that I've seen one that low. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so I think a lot of that took away from his WAR, and then he's playing left field, so he's not getting any boost. All right, what's the next award here? Cy Young Award. Don Robinson's probably your best candidate. 16-8 with a 3.73, or Rick Porter, but Candelaria has the highest WAR with a 9. I guess because of the strikeouts, the productivity from the strikeouts. I don't know, but none of these are. I think. I mean, I think we'll get some votes, but I don't think we're gonna win it. Steve Rogers, who we faced on opening day, going back to SmileyFaceJane's point about always seem to be facing the best team on opening day. We actually got no votes. That's brutal. That's brutal. We got no votes? Seriously? Soto went 15-14 with a 3.38, and we can't get any votes? I don't know about that. That seems busted. I mean, most of these guys, although Carlton's 14-13 with a 2.84, he did have 286 strikeouts, but that's a third place vote getting season. I don't know about that. 26 and 2.08, of course. Steve Rogers 20-5, 2.26, sure. Andujar 20-5 with a 2.51. I have no problem with those, but Carlton, Welch, those seasons seem a little questionable. Necro seems fine. Soto also a little questionable. He's 500 pitchers getting votes. I mean, I get that win-loss isn't like a great stat, and Jacob DeGrom winning Cy Youngs proves that, but I mean, these aren't all Jacob DeGroms in here. Like, Soto did have 287 Ks, but Welch only had 187. Was his whip super good? His whip is okay. It's not super good. I don't know where that's coming from, but I'm just surprised that our pitchers got no votes. And then MVP, I guess we're looking at Thompson as probably our best candidate here. Stargell, not bad. Back then, winning the World Series was a higher factor too. Yeah, although I don't know if that's factored in here. Oops. Mailbox. All right, let's see what happens to MVP. Thompson finishes third. I don't have a problem with that. Stargell finishing that far down, though, I have a problem with that. And, you know, Parker seemed like he didn't have a great season, but he only finished 2 spots behind Stargell in MVP voting. So, all right, let's give away some packs. Well, that's true. Yeah, with Stargell's defense, that's true. That's true. I'm the one who showed it, and I already forgot how bad his defense was. All right, let's see. Will this team have the worst record in the majors? No. Worst record in the league? No. Last division? No. So everyone's still alive, which is good. Will it win its division? It did not win its division. It did not make the playoffs. So right away, we're losing everybody. So Senor El Dirtbag wins 7 packs by virtue of that question. Now, everyone else would get 3 bonus points, but we might as well just do no bonus points since we're all in the same boat. Will it win the World Series? No. Will a player in the team win the Cy Young? All no's. Will a player win the MVP? Senor Dirtbag also the one who gets no. So being the naysayer really paid off this one. Because I think the team seemed surprisingly not that well considering how good the players were that were added. If it had come to win total, 92 wins, Z Grizzly would have nailed that one exactly right. So very good guess, Z Grizzly. You sim with that team, so you knew it pretty well. Alright, so Senor Dirtbag. Already won, so we won't score their guesses. Okay, for everyone else, how many games behind? They were, not that it matters, 8 games behind. Everyone's tied at 0, so you're all going to get points there. All-Stars, it was only 3. Look at that. Senor Dirtbag got it exactly right. But Z Grizzly and Holler will get points for that one. Gold Glove winners, we had none. So Z Grizzly and Holler getting points there. Platinum Sick Awards, 3. So the Holler and Nerd of Anarchy each get a point. One of them was under, one of them was 1 over. Oh, the mouse hover questions. I didn't do that yet. Let's take a look. 6th, 2nd, and 7th. Again. That's pretty good. Defensively, even better. No, not better. 6th, 9th, and 13th. I mean, yeah, I guess you have to be one of the top 4 teams, or not technically, depending on how the division side. But yeah, these are not top 4 rankings for sure. I think in the modern world, right, that was definitely a playoff team. But when you only have 4 playoff spots, it is a lot tougher. Okay, so run scored 6th. Z Grizzly's going to get a point there. Batting average, 2nd. So the Holler and Nerd Rare here can get points there. Home runs hit, 7th. Oh, everyone gets 1st. Nerd, Z Grizzly, and Holler. Not close, but closest. Everybody. ERA, 6th. Holler's can get a solo point. That could be big. Big solo point. Strikeouts thrown, 9th. Holler again. Maybe it's good that Senor El Dirtbag what you want because they guess 110th. Probably meant to be 11th or 10th and had a little bit of a slip there. Defensive efficiency, 13th. Look at that. Got that one exactly right, Senor Dirtbag. Z Grizzly, closest though. Yeah, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I couldn't have given you the point, but I figured it was 11th or 10th, which would have been close. But nailing the defensive efficiency at 13th. All right, head into the batting questions. We've got Nerd America with 4 points. Z Grizzly with 6 points. Again, I'm not counting the 3-point bonus because everyone's got it. 2, 4, 8 points for the Holler. It's still anyone's game. There's enough points for Nerd America to catch up too, but Holler leading Z Grizzly by 2 points right now. All right, team leader in home runs. Stargell with 44 in an era with not as many home runs. 44 is a pretty big number there. Z Grizzly gets a solo point. Okay, batting average with at least 100 plate appearances. That would be 334 by Jason Thompson. That's going to be Nerd Galaxy with the closest there. 11 batting average points away. And then whip. Or not whip, OPS. 1037 also by Jason Thompson. 1037. So Z Grizzly's going to get that one. All right, and then we have Batter War. That was 7 from Jason Thompson, which is a big number considering he plays first base. 7.2 from Z Grizzly is going to be closest, almost dead on. All right, so after the hitting questions, oh, I forgot to give color code to Nerd of Anarchy there. Nerd of Anarchy moves up to 5. Z Grizzly picks up 3 points to move up to number 9. So now Z Grizzly have flipped the lead. And Nerd of Anarchy is still in range. Could potentially have to run the table, but could catch Z Grizzly. So everyone's still in the running. Alright, on the pitching side. Strikeouts on the team and strikeouts only 202 by Candelaria. So other than Senor Dirtbag, everyone overshooting. So 202 is Z Grizzly. So Z Grizzly now has 10. That knocks out Nerd of Anarchy, but the Holler can still catch him. Let me shrink these down again in size because I opened up a few. There we go. All right. This is ERA. Lowest ERA with at least 100 innings pitched. Guante had a 1.47 but 55 innings pitched. You have to go up to Rick Rodin with a 3.26 with 254 innings. 3.26. So Senor Dirtbag would have gotten that. And the meme guess by the Holler, 2.69, takes it and keeps him alive. All right, next up is Whip. At least 100 innings pitched. 1.17 by Don Robinson. So Zegers and the Holler are going to be tied for closest. Not close, but closest. And the highest pitcher war, 9.0 by Candelaria. 9.0. So the Holler a little bit higher. So Nerdwiki finishes with 5. Z Grizzly with 11. And the Holler with 11. But the Holler got the last question right, which is the final tiebreaker. Whoever got the most recent question right. Nerd should take Picture War. Oh, you're right. Nerd does take Picture War. You're right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I missed Nerd America up there. Nerd America takes playing a little bit of spoilers. So now, the most recent one was Zeus in the Holler. So then the most recent one before that was the Holler again. No, wait. No, but that means the Holler's stuck at 10. So Z Grizzly takes it. Congratulations, Z Grizzly. Yes, I appreciate the honesty of the Holler testifying against himself. Second place for Z Grizzly. Very good battle down to the wire. Yeah, I just wish Dave Parker had brought it a little bit more during the season. Which is weird because he does have the profile, the kind of profile that does sim better in OTP. You know, it's usually like the Ichiros and the Boggses and the Gwynns that kind of suffer in the simulation engine. Parker has the profile that I thought would have been really good for it, but he just underperformed a bit this season. Yeah, really fun pack giveaway, everybody. Thanks for participating. Nerd actually playing a bit of spoiler there at the end, even. And SmileyFaceJane, of course, thank you for such an entertaining historic game. Always consistently good at bringing the good ones. Alright, so we've been rating Midnight Sumo, but we're going to take a break from Midnight Sumo because they're on day 9. We still have the rest of the week we can catch the rest. But Opie's back to streaming. I want to hang out in Opie's stream while I finish my drafts tonight. Well, actually, as long as no one else is streaming OOTP. Let me make sure no one's streaming OOTP. Or any affiliates are streaming OOTP. I'm not going to stream a random OOT person. We've had bad experiences doing that, so. Yeah, no one else is streaming OOTP, affiliate or otherwise. Now, if it was a non-affiliate like Lone Star SW, of course we'll rate in the Lone Star SW, but I meant the more rando, non-affiliate OTP streamers. Alright, so let's see what's coming up. We've got I'm gonna do an experiment tomorrow, although I kind of want to play that vibe-based creator roster. If at least come out, we're going to do the pack rips tomorrow, and then we'll do the experiment on Thursday. But otherwise, I'm planning to do another experiment tomorrow. I was thinking about maybe doing, we did catcher defense so much, maybe we'll do like middle infield defense or something. I want to confirm that like turn double play is still most important in second, and that range and arm are still most important at shortstop. And then we've got in the Friday afternoon, big highlight is going to be EVC and NYC2 playing creator roster. The last 2 cycles, he has taken over the leaderboard. In OOTP27, he did not surrender the leaderboard lead until the very last creator roster run of the cycle, with SmileyFaceJane finally unseated the Daywalker. And then Friday night, PTMS number 1 has snuck up on us. I think it is this Saturday, right? This coming Saturday. So I'm gonna have to do some roster builds, 3 roster builds, and I think I'm gonna have 9 drafts to do because each entrant gets each traditional entrant gets 3 rosters to build. Each draft entrant gets 3 drafts to do. So I think I'm gonna have 3 rosters to build and 9 drafts to do. But I think that's doable in one night. I don't think I'll have to cancel the pack. Maybe I will. 3 rosters is actually a lot. Because I'm used to, when I do 3 rosters, usually 1 roster and then copy it twice. Which will not be the case this Friday. But oh, SmileyFaceJane, if you're still in the chat, how many PTMS entries are you gonna have? It's just based on PTCS's 1 and 2, so that's why I snuck in. Because, oh, none. Because you didn't have to have as many deep runs with only 2 PTCSs to qualify. So I think I got 3 drafts in, and it looks like I'll have 1 traditional in. And Claydog Jim Unknown PTCS 2, so I don't know if he'll have any teams in. Yeah, Senor, that thank you goes to SmileyFaceJane for selecting the 82 Pirates. You know, yeah, I think the 70s Pirates are celebrated. I think the early 80s Pirates are kind of forgotten. That's a good point. And you can see it's like a different squad than the 70s teams, right? Like Stargill's pretty much a non-factor by now. Parker's still on the roster, but not a huge contributor. So yeah, it's a different team, but still very good. And you got some of the new pieces, right? You've got Johnny Ray on the reserve. I think he's rookie of the year that year. Tony Pena's now here. Yeah, so it's a kind of a fun transition team. Yeah, Omar Moreno's still on there from that era. Yeah, they actually, now that you mention it, they actually managed to like transition from the late 70s. I mean, the Pirates were relevant through the 80s. They had like the Bonilla Bonds Van Slyke years, right? Like they were they didn't win any World Series, but they were relevant through most of the 80s. So that's some pretty good consistency after coming off the late 70s teams. And then we've got the Flying WB on Saturday. Right now, as far as I know, the 24th and 25th aren't claimed yet. So, you know, I know Northern Anarchy was going to schedule something, so there's some spots there that are available. So we'll get him booked. All right. Well, thanks for being here. We'll raid into Ophi. Oh, Z Grizzly might grab one. That'd be fine too. That'd be great. Raid. We'll get back to raiding Midnight Sumo the rest of this week, but I did want to pop in on a Ophi stream to start the week. I definitely feel it when she's not streaming on the weekends. Like I miss just hanging out in that vibe. All right, hope to see everybody tomorrow night. We don't have Ezra leading into us, so you know I might start a little bit early depending on when Rev Junior is available, and frankly when I'm available. But at the very least, I might start a little bit early to do the PTCS standings update, and then we'll go right into Rev Junior's low ball run. All right, thanks again, SmileyFaceJane, and again, hope to see you all tomorrow.